I'm Esme and I created Be You. I created this back in 2016 after I was quite low for about a year. I was quite depressed, and one of the things that I started doing to help myself was I started journaling. And I feel bad for the woman. Basically, I went to this conference as part of my university experience then, and I saw this woman journaling, and her journal looked stunning, and I just sat next to her. I didn't know her, and just went, what are you doing? How does this work? And she sort of said, oh, well, this is called bullet journaling. You should look it up. And I just asked her like a million questions about her journaling practice and what it was and how it worked and all these different types of things. So thank you to her that she told all of this to me and took the time to explain it to me. But also, I'm really sorry that I asked you all those questions over breakfast when you probably just wanted to journal and eat. That's sort of how I was introduced to bullet journaling, and then I looked it up myself and I bought a journal, and I thought, I'm going to do this for about like a week, and then I will never look at my journal again, probably. And that is honestly what I expected. But what I found was that I didn't stop after a week, and I didn't stop after 2 weeks, and I didn't stop after 3 months or 6 months or a year. I loved it, and it helped me tremendously in my recovery journey. One of the things that helped me the most was just being able to look back on things and realise that things were good in my life, and also just to have better priorities in my life. I found it so easy when I was sort of mentally unwell I would get in a down mood and I would catastrophize and just imagine that everything in my life was bad, that nothing good had happened. I'd say to myself and believe it that I always felt this way and I was never going to feel any different. And what my journal did for me was being able to see on the page, actually, that's not true. I said that was a good day yesterday or a week ago. So it helped me challenge those really negative thoughts. And I started to expand that. I started to write in memories and happy things, and I started to draw connections between, oh, I've done this today or yesterday and now I don't feel so good. Actually, maybe there's a connection, and maybe there is something in my brain. For example, if I started to feel anxious, that's a sign because I'm doing that again tomorrow, which, I realised a week ago that made me feel quite low. And it helped me to listen to myself more because of that, about what I need, and prioritise my well-being a bit more. And a planner, I think, generally is quite heavily focused on that productivity aspect. And for me, journaling and merging those things of actually what was then study and later work, and Be You, and just general finances and those things that we don't enjoy and that we assume we have to get this done in productivity, together with my personal life, kind of put them on equal footing for me, and that was really helpful. If you're interested to know more about why I set up Be You and how all of this sort of came about, then do look at my website under the About section. I'll leave the link in the description. So the reason I thought I'd do this video today is that I've had questions from people sort of saying, okay, there's different things in this planner, but actually what can I do with it? So this is the Be You planner for 2020. This is what it looks like. This is on the side. It will come wrapped like this. I thought we could just take a little look at it on the inside and actually see what it looks like. So as you'll see, it comes with this sort of wrapped. Now, I really like having bookmarks in my planners. It just makes it easier to find things. So other than that, it looks nice. This has a purpose. So if you were to take this off, just untying the knot, you just have a string. So what I do is I get it like this, and then at the start of the back of the journal, I will tape or glue it in, and then you've got yourself 2 bookmarks. You can see here my planner from last year, and this is what I have done. You can see them glued in here. I've actually stuck something over it, so I'm not going to show you that because that has personal details in it, but it basically has these little bookmarks. I've got 2, and then because I like the look of it, I just made little knots in the end. So let's start talking through some of the features. So the first one that you sort of come to that I think could use an explanation, it has an explanation at the top as well, is the legend. And the legend is really for colour coding. So that's something that I did in my own journal, is sort of decide colours for major categories of my life. So I would, for example, do friends and family, or work, or study, or like house sort of admin, exercise, those types of things. I would give a colour, and I could use that throughout the planner to colour code the different things. And what that really helps for me is that I can very easily get a glance of what kind of thing I'll be doing that day. That's how it helps me. It also helps me to very easily get a glance of actually where am I spending my time, because obviously lots of red, which used to be study for me, and nothing else, it's like, oh, maybe I'm overdoing it with the study, maybe I need to balance it out with something else, or I'm not seeing any red, maybe I should study a bit more. So the next feature in the 2020 planner is the intention setting page. So rather than a list view, as was in the 2019 for goals, this is more around intentions and words. So you see it will say intention 2020, and then 2 words already underneath it, which I think for me will be very important in 2020. So I thought I would include those. And you can expand this with drawings, descriptions of hopes or intentions or goals that you have for 2020, or writing in more words, sticking in things. So you can get really creative with this page. There is a master project list, so this is pretty self-explanatory, but you've got 4 categories that you can make, or you can do more if you want to, but there's 4 set out. You can fill in a description of the different things that you want to do or achieve in 2020 within those, and write in when as well. The monthly overviews look like this, and they have a to-do, a goals and a project list on the side for you to fill in. So the reason that I did that is because I found that breaking things into small steps, as do very many other people, incredibly helpful. So what this allows you to do is write down those big projects that you have, and then write down the specific goals you have within those projects that you want to finish this month, and then what the individual to-dos for those are. For every month you also have a page like this, and you have a space on the right hand side to draw in memories, or stick in memories, or write down memories, and these are one of the pages that I love the most. It's just such a joy to look back on, and especially when I felt low as well, it was lovely to see them. I read somewhere recently that apparently we only remember really like 10 things from every year off the top of our heads. So if you think back to, for example, 2018, what things come to mind? There's probably not loads. Then when you start thinking about it more, you might remember more things. And sometimes you have one of those times when you are doing something similar, or you're talking to a friend about something, and all of a sudden you remember a small moment in your life that was really lovely, but that you'd otherwise forgotten. And the nice thing about these memory pages is that you get to write down those memories, those really small ones, but that brings such joy to your life. It's also just a really great way to practice gratefulness for maybe those smaller moments that you weren't able to capture on video or in a photo because you didn't think to take out your phone, or because it didn't look pretty, or because it was just a feeling. And you can write those down, really remember it, really feel grateful for it. On the other side of that page, you have a monthly tracker. So how that works is that you can turn your planner sideways and you can write down different things. So what things do you want to keep track of about how often you do it? So maybe there's daily practices that you want to do. So maybe there's meditation or yoga or running or thinking positively on there. Maybe there's things like cleaning, feeding your pet, reading, doing things that you love, that you want to make sure that you do lots of, or things that you want to stick to. And you can write those in that little list there, and it has all the numbers of the month next to it, and you can colour in the days where you do it. Following that, you have the new and the full moon of that month and space to journal about it. Maybe writing intentions, what you were feeling at that time, and it has a little affirmation on each of the new and full moons. So every week for you looks like this, and every day has 2 questions. The first one is, was it a good day? And this is one of the questions that I started asking myself when I first started journaling. That really helped me to actually reflect on, was this a good day or not? And more often than not, it was. I would ask myself that question when maybe I was feeling quite low and something bad happened, and I was focusing in on that in my head and thinking this was an awful day. And then when I sat with that question, I was like, oh, but actually, you know, for example, the sun was shining today and I really enjoyed that walk I went on, and the new episode of Grey's Anatomy came out and I really enjoyed watching that, and I ate a really nice lunch. It's like, actually, maybe overall it was quite a good day, and I'd end up taking it anyway, and then I go to bed thinking today was such a good day, rather than, oh, today was the worst. And then it asks you what you're grateful for. You will also have 4 of these pages at the end of every month. So this is a full day plan, and it allows you to plan your day in more detail. So if you think back to what the weekly overview looks like, there is space, but there's not space to maybe make a very detailed plan for those really busy days when you know you have to get a lot done, and you have to be in lots of places, and it's just useful to be able to plan a little bit more how it's all going to fit together. So that's why you have these pages. And it just shows a timeline down the middle vertically from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's just blank pages at the back, which can be really helpful just to write down those extra notes. So that is about an overview of all the important features in this planner that might need a little bit more explanation and some ideas on how you can use them. There's lots of other things in here that you can use, like there's a reading list. I love to read, so I love to be able to make a reading list, and you can see photos of this on my website. There's the self-care ideas list. You know, when you're feeling a bit low and like, what do I do? You can refer back to that and think, okay, maybe, you know, when you don't feel like doing anything, it's nice to have an idea of, oh, I thought that might help me when I wasn't feeling so well. An important info list. There's just so much in here, so I definitely recommend having a look at my website to see more photos and a description of all the features. The BU 2020 planner is for sale now on my website, and you can purchase it there. Link will be in the description if you're not already on my website. It's in the product section. I hope this video has been helpful for you to get a sense of what the BU 2020 planner is actually like and how you can use it. Please do let me know if it has, or especially as well if you have any more questions or ideas or suggestions. You can get in touch with me via email or Instagram. And just send me a message. That would be fantastic, and I hope you have a lovely day and a beautiful 2020.